KJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach, 1010XL, home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For breaking Jaguars news, press conferences, interviews, and analysis, your flagship station of the Jags is 1010XL.
Now, the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter on 1010XL. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Campo.
It's a blitz, an all-out blitz. Stroud fires. Wide open is his receiver. That's going to be a walk-in touchdown. Dalton Schultz was wide open in the right flat. He caught it around the 10-yard line. Nobody near him. He waltzed into the end zone, and the Texans extend the lead here at Everbank Stadium.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars Radio, and with that, a very good Sunday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings with the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy and the head coach Dave Campo. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. The Jaguars now 2-10 after a 23-20 loss to the Houston Texans. The Jaguars officially eliminated from AFC South contention and will officially be eliminated from playoff contention if Denver wins tomorrow against Cleveland. That's a mere formality, whether they're eliminated tomorrow night or next week. The Jaguars obviously will not be going to the postseason. The big story today, a contract extension for an offensive tackle, a just brutal situation for your franchise quarterback, and another loss. And Leon Searcy, hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, the Jaguars did not have a happy Sunday today.
Neither did I, Hack. Watching the Jaguar game.
You've had a rough weekend, actually.
Watching the Jaguar game reminded me of what I had to do this morning. I had to go to the dentist and get a tooth extracted. All right? So there was some numbing, there was some laughing gas, there was some drilling, and there was some pain.
What was more pleasurable, the tooth extraction or watching the Jaguars?
The tooth distraction, of course. Absolutely the tooth distraction.
Oh, Coach, it was not a good weekend, not a good Sunday for the Jags.
No, unfortunately, they made it close at the end, but, it's getting old. And unfortunately, I don't see a lot going forward, but at the same time, anything can happen.
All right, let's not bury the lead. Azeez Al-Shaair, the linebacker of the Houston Texans, with just an incredibly dirty play on Trevor Lawrence, knocking him out of the game. A pretty good melee ensued after that, and right on. Good for Evan Ingram, good for all the Jerry and Jones throwing punches, absolutely. There are certain times in life, Leon, I played high school football, right? I mean, you played in the NFL. You're the guy to ask. There are certain times in life when it's go time. And when somebody does that to your quarterback, it was go time, correct?
Oh, absolutely it was go time. I mean, he got mud stomped the way he was supposed to. And I like the way that the Jaguars, when a guy does something like that on the opposing team, you throw him towards your sideline so other guys can get the beat down on them as well, because it was a cheap shot. Now, me and Coach was talking about this off the air. That kind of hit back in our day, like in the 80s, 90s when we played, that was common. It was common for quarterbacks to get knocked out, hit like that, whatever. But nowadays, when they protect the quarterback, it was absolutely a cheap shot. He should get suspended, I think, for at least a game, and I think he should get fined at least a game check.
Coach, what was your reaction? You've been a defensive coach for decades in the league. When you see something like that, I mean, universal thought across the league is that was one of the dirtier plays we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, no question about it, especially when you got a guy that, on a quarterback. I've seen some situations where guys have cheap-shotted guys. But, your quarterback is so important in this league. And for a guy to do that, it was uncalled for. And I thought Daryl Johnson made some good points about, the color guy for the TV deal. He made the comment that respect in this country is not in its best at this point. Whether it's politics, whatever it is. And that's disrespectful what the guy did. And unfortunately, there's no place for it in the NFL. And the guys got to be smarter than that.
And, my sentiments are the same, Coach. Here's the thing. I mean, we all compete. We understand that football is a brutal sport, all right? But we never go out there to try to hurt anybody.
Right.
We want to out-physical you. We want to out-manage you. We want to out-tough you. But we never intentionally go out there to try to hurt you. that kind of play, that kind of cheap shot when Trevor's giving up himself, it's clear that Trevor's giving up himself.
Right.
And him to launch himself, to lead with the elbow to his head and neck area, that lets me know that you had some egregious intentions upon that quarterback. Right. It goes farther than just hitting them and trying to tackle him hard. No, you had some egregious intentions towards that quarterback, and it showed by the way you hit him.
See, and the problem for Al-Shaair was, I mean, some of his teammates defended him, but if you go back and watch, his teammates couldn't believe it. I mean, D'Amico Ryans couldn't. D'Amico Ryans came over there and basically said, "What are you doing?" I mean, when your teammates, they have to have your back in the melee. Mm-hmm. But afterwards, I'm sure he's embarrassed, right? And then he just doubled down by almost getting into another fight. Brandon Sheriff came over. I mean,
guys spitting on him or throwing that stuff at him out of the stands. I mean,
it was a ridiculous look for Al-Shaair. And by the way, it's not the first time he's done this. I guess in the Chicago game earlier this year, he had a blatant cheap shot of Caleb Williams going out of bounds that people thought he should have been suspended for. I think he should be suspended for as many games as Trevor Lawrence misses. And the NFL needs to do something about that. How that's offsetting penalties. You kill the quarterback, you knock him out of the game, and you don't even get penalized on the field because the penalty's offset?
That's weak. Oh. That's absolutely weak by the officials. And they need to stop that. You need to villainize the villain. He was the villain. He's the one that intended to do what he did, so villainize him. Don't give him a pass. No, absolutely not. I hate when they do stuff like that.
The game itself. Look, Trevor gets hurt. It's 23-6 with 8 minutes to go. Say what you will about Doug Peterson, and I've certainly said a lot, and then this coaching staff. I mean, the guys battled their tails off and, of course, get back to within 3 and give the fans hope. And inevitably, on a 3rd and 5, on a basic toss sweep, Joe Mixon gets 15 yards and a first down to end the game. But the Jaguars did show some resolve, and certainly a really, really nice game by Parker Washington and Mac Jones.
Yeah, again, I don't think he's lost the locker room, and we've been saying that right along. I don't doubt that he's lost the locker room. The guys are competing. It's just that we're still, and he said it in his press conference. I listened to his press conference. They're still making mistakes that cost you football games, like the pass to Schultz.
Should we get into that now, Coach?
Well, no, I'm just saying it's just those kind of things are what get you. In 2 drives, they were in good shape. They got a bad snap that put them behind the chains, and they got a legal procedure that got them behind the chains. Those kind of things that cannot happen in a football game.
And then there was a holding penalty on Brenton Strange.
And a holding penalty on a run for about 15 yards.
Well, I remember Matt Hayes asked me last week, he asked me a question. He said, Leon, as a player, does there come a certain time where you just get tired of losing? And I said, yeah, but this Jaguar team doesn't seem to be there yet because they keep making the same mistakes that's costing them football games. Because if you get tired of losing, then you don't make the same mistakes that cost you or put you behind the chains or illegal procedures and all that kind of stuff. So you obviously haven't gotten tired of losing because we see the routine of you doing the same thing week in and week out that's costing you football games.
That play that Savage blew, to Schultz, that's blazoned in my being a defensive coach.
Coach has some thoughts about that play.
Well, here's the thing. I get upset when a team gets into a formation and a guy gets picked off, right? Because you got to know, here's what they're trying to do. Well, that was a zone pressure where the 3 underneath guys are in zone. They stay right there. There's 3 guys underneath. And we chase the guy underneath with a guy that's supposed to be in the curl flat, the outside, and the guy's wide open. I mean, it wasn't anything intricate because they weren't in man-to-man where they had to decide, okay, this guy goes here, you got to take this guy, this and that. It was a zone. The guy just sits there, and he chases the guy inside. So those kind of things, you're not going to win games. And without that one, there was a chance they kick a field goal instead of a touchdown on that drive. And you get a chance to win.
Oh, there's so many.
It comes down to 1 or 2, 3, 4 plays in a game that make a difference, and that was one of them.
And I know it was a 55-yarder, but Cam Little missing his second field goal of the year. I mean, so many things. Yep. Phone lines are loaded. We'll get to you. 641-1010. If you're on the line, we'll get to you. Be patient. Hang tight just one moment. Let me ask the 11-year NFL vet, the former Pro Bowler. There's a thought about Trevor Lawrence now. should he play the remainder of the year? And I really like what your former teammate Fred Taylor said, and something I agree with. I'm going to get your thoughts on it. Trevor's going to want to play. He's probably not playing next week because after a hit like that, I doubt you get out of protocol in 1 week. I don't know that. That's just my opinion. So I doubt he'll be able to play next week even if he wants to. But then they got 4 games left after next week. And maybe he clears concussion protocol, and he's going to want to go back out there. You're out of the playoffs. The season's over. You got a shoulder injury that you were thinking about, do I play, do I not play anyway?
Or get surgery.
Yeah, or get surgery. You absolutely get annihilated today and get your second concussion in the last 12 months. 2 letters that'll take it out of Trevor Lawrence's hands. IR. And then it's no longer a conversation. He doesn't have to beg. He doesn't have to plead. He doesn't say, put me in there, put me in there, put me in there. No. You put him on IR, much like Dallas did with Dak, and you end his season. Are we at that point they should do that with Trevor Lawrence?
You got to put him on ice. You have to put him on ice. And sometimes, I mean, a player's competitive spirit, you've got to protect the player from himself. Because if you're a competitor, you want to compete. You want to be out there to help your teammates to win, even if it's 2 games, 3 games, whatever it may be. But at this particular time with the season gone, 2-10, you got to put him on ice. You have to. And I'm afraid. You just say, hey, listen, let me put you on IR. You're done. It's a wrap.
Now, the odd thing, Coach, is that Doug Peterson probably needs to win.
Well, but that's why the owner has to make that decision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that the owner's got to make the decision. Hey, look, I just paid the guy $200 and something million. The future of this team goes beyond the head coach, the general manager. The future of the team is in my hands. I'm the owner. I got to make that kind of a decision. And I'm not saying that Doug wouldn't make that decision.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just throwing it out there that he needs to.
Or Trent might make that decision. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying if that's the right thing to do, the owner, if he doesn't feel that that's in the best interest of the organization, the owner has to make the decision.
And I just look at it because we talked a lot about this leading up to Houston with the injury to Trevor in the shoulder. And I had a lot of guys tell me, well, if he's healthy enough to play, he should play. And theoretically, and again, we're jumping way ahead here, but let's say he clears protocol in 2 weeks and there's 3 games left. And technically, he would be healthy enough to play at that point. But now that's you and Fred Taylor, 2 of the best Jaguars that have ever dressed in a Jaguar uniform, saying it probably doesn't matter at this point. You need to shut him down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put him on ice. You got to. Because first of all, that hit today, that was a
he could have killed the kid.
Yeah, that's minimum 2 games. Okay,
minimum
2 games. All right. So so you got 3 left. What are you trying to prove? You got 3 games left.
You don't need to see anything from Trevor.
Exactly.
He doesn't need reps. He's going to be your guy in 25.
Exactly.
That's the point.
That's the point. Absolutely.
So,
yes.
All right. Phone lines open 641-1010. Let's squeeze a couple in this opening segment. We did start a little later. We're with you till 8 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. Again, Houston 23-20. The Jaguars now 2-10 on the year. Let's go down to Orlando, Florida. Let's get Matt to start us off here on the 5th quarter on 1010XL. Matt, what do you got? Matt, are you there? Matt going once. Matt going twice. Matt is gone. To Ponte Vedra, Rick is up here on 1010XL. Rick, what's happening?
Hey, Rick, congratulations, Hack, on losing over 100 pounds. That's awesome.
Thank you, buddy.
I'm a first-time caller, season ticket holder since 97, missed 5 games since 97. And my question is not about the players on the field. I think they gave good effort. But Walker Little, God bless him. I'm glad he got his deal. That's great for he and his family. But as a ticket holder who is debating whether to renew next year, my question to you guys is making a deal to re-sign a player, is that a sign that we're not making changes, or is that something that's good in the best interest and that's okay? And I honestly don't know the answer. That's why I put it to you guys.
Rick, thank you for the phone call. Leon, your reaction when Walker Little got paid earlier today, and what does that mean for Trent Baalke moving forward?
Well, for one, what's the rush? Unless you think he was going to be a hot commodity on free agency, which I doubt it. Walker Little is an average player, and he got pretty good average money, but $26 million guarantee is not to sneeze at.
Surprised Walker didn't want to test the market?
On a bad team, he's not really that good. No, he's not. You know what I'm saying? He's okay. He doesn't, You know, he doesn't. He's okay on a bad team. That's a little shaky. The market can be a little shaky on bad teams, and you're just okay. But he's young, he's athletic, all that kind of stuff. Hasn't really reached his potential. So, but if Balky doing this deal seems a little suspicious to me. All right, it really does. It seems a little suspicious to me. For one, he's saying again, the O-line is good. We're good with what we have. We don't need to improve. We don't need to upgrade. Like he said last year. Remember when he said that we're good up front. These guys didn't get up. Well, it was either Balky or it was Peterson. Was like, these really good guys didn't have opportunity to play together except for one game, and now this is the aftermath of that. So,
it might take you out of the left tackle market in the draft, too.
Yeah.
When you make a signing like this. I mean, Coach, on social media, Jaguar fans were not happy. Not at Walker Little. Walker Little was kind of getting the venom. It wasn't so much about him. It was about Balky doing it, and does that mean Balky's going to be back in 2025?
Well, let me just put it this way. If the organization feels that, first of all, Little is more important to the organization than the head coach and the general manager are. Now, I agree with Leon from the standpoint that I don't know that he's heads and tails over every other tackle. And is he worth the money? I don't know. They're watching him every day. But that goes first. In other words, if you think that there's not that market out there for a veteran tackle, or you don't want to go that route, and you don't see somebody in the draft that you can get, especially if you're going to be number 1 or number 2 in the draft, you're probably not going to take an offensive tackle at number 1 or 2 in the draft. So that probably supersedes everything. Now, whether or not he's worth it or not, Leon watches him more than I do, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know the answer to that, but I think it's an organizational decision for the future. Not, there's not that many tackles out there.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of Leon Cersei's and Boselli's running around out there. That's the only thing.
Well, he got backup tackle money, comparable to Penei Sewell, who's an elite tackle. They got like 130, or even Jawan Taylor 2 years ago. He got $80 million. So I mean, he got. That's the hometown discount now.
Yeah.
For that kind of money, he got 3 and 45, which is nothing to sneeze at. But he didn't get elite tackle money. He got compromise. He got comparable money for a guy who, they feel is just okay.
And for what it's worth, I was talking to one of my buddies in San Francisco. I want to say it was Vance McDonald, the tight end. I think that's right. Balky re-signed him December of 2016 to like a 3-year extension. Balky was fired in San Francisco 3 weeks later. So, again, it doesn't necessarily mean Balky's going to be back here in 2025. But it's interesting that very rarely do you see guys getting extensions mid-season, nevertheless 2 hours before a game, right? And this broke, which was interesting. Let's get one more in here on the opening segment. Again, if you're on the line, we'll get to you. Let's go to Junior up in Buffalo. Junior, is the weather up there as bad as it looks on TV?
It's south of me. This snow band is south of Buffalo. It's in Orchard Park, which is south of Buffalo. So I've been having sunny weather, but freezing cold for the last 3 days.
Wow, that game tonight's going to be interesting to watch because apparently there's just snow everywhere for the Bills and the 49ers.
Let's go 49ers. But this is, I can't talk much about another loss, 5 games in a row. I expected Jaguars to lose today, but I didn't expect that dirty, cheap hit that Trevor took. That's uncalled for in the NFL right now. I want Trevor to be careful, take some time. I have a coworker who got into a car accident who suffered from a concussion, and he's still suffering it from today with memory loss and all this stuff. So that's no joke. He needs to take care of himself and make sure he don't come back too soon. And what you described, he talked about putting him in IR, I think we should, and take care of him and watch him day to day. Again, I hope he feels better, and let's see what we can do next week, guys. Take care.
Junior, appreciate the phone call. Yeah, look, that's not 2 concussions in a calendar year. Remember, Trevor had a concussion last year, too. And you start getting in the plural range, more than one, that starts to be a story. And so we'll see with Trevor. But if it were me, I would not play him the remainder of the year. He's going to want to play. I say, I don't even give him the chance. Don't even give him the argument. You put him on IR, and you end it, and we'll see you back here for OTAs in April of 2025.
I agree.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm okay with that.
That is Dave Campo, Leon Searcy. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green, Jonathan, Matt, the rest of you guys. Hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. Jacksonville, if you want to get in, there is room for you. 641-1010 is the phone number, the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Houston 23, Jacksonville 20. The Jaguars now 2-10 on the year. This is the Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We're being presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. And it is a tradition here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL that I inform you since the beginning of the 2012 season, the Jaguars have now played 207 regular season games. They have won 62 of those games. They have lost 145 of those games, which means over the last 207 contests, the Jaguars have now lost 70% of those football games. More to do on the fifth quarter after this.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyrics.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting. Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Sometimes I give myself Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometorockville.com.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
When they were little, the other girls played with dolls.
Aww.
They played with footballs.
Who's them?
Yes, it's us.
Helmets and heels.
From the First Coast Lighting Studios at 1010XL.
Weekdays noon to 2.
Some girls have all the fun.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gates store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy. And do it today.
Why do you choose Farah and Farah? First, we have the financial resources to take on any insurance company. And our track record proves that we know how to win. Our attorneys and staff are a team. and we've worked together for decades. To us, our job is much more than just a paycheck. We love to help. And this is important. We never forget. It's not about us. It's all about you. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
It's the end of the year sale with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a $250 gift card for holiday shopping. With financing options as low as $150 a month, protecting your home's never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP, and this offer expires December 31st. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
They leave the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th and 8 from the 22-yard line. Dropping an all-out blitz here. Max fires toward the right corner, and that ball is going to be caught by Parker Washington into the end zone. Touchdown. There's a touchdown. There's a flag on the play, but Parker went up and got it and ran it into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown for Jacksonville.
Frank Franchi on the call. Jaguars radio. Parker Washington, 6 grabs for 103 yards. Very impressive. We're going to talk about him in a moment as the fifth quarter rolls on. 1010XL, 92.5 FM. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. Let's do it right now. The Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the offensive player of the game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
It really is 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, Leon. You could give it to either one of two guys. We're going to give an honorable mention to Parker Washington, 6 for 103 and a touchdown. But Mac Jones comes in cold off the bench quickly after that devastating hit from on Trevor. 20 of 32 for 235 and 2 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 105. He wasn't perfect. He obviously missed some. His stats could have even been better. But that boy to Mac Jones, he was very good today, and he is the offensive player of the game.
He came through. I mean, he was a little unsettling early. Missed a couple of good deep throws or whatever, but he got settled in like the late third and the fourth quarter and made some decent throws. So, yeah, absolutely. Played well.
Coach, what was your opinion on Mac Jones today?
I thought he did well. I mean, he made a couple of throws that were kind of layups. Unfortunately, he was coming off the bench cold, and, he didn't get started quite as fast as you'd like. But at the same time, it was definitely a good performance in my mind, and it gave us a chance to win. And if we could have stopped him, to give him one more chance, I wouldn't have put him past him to get it at that point, the way he was executing, to get it back in the field goal range.
With Dave Campo and Leon Searcy, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Phone lines open, 641-1010. Let's head out to Atlantic Beach. Let's get Nikolai in here on the fifth quarter. Nikolai, what's going on?
Yeah, hey, guys. So I think we need to realize who Trevor is and who he is not. I mean, he's not Brady. He's not Marino. He's not Mahomes. He's an average guy who's got a big arm, and occasionally he's throws a really accurate pass. But he is missing so many open players. Today, the first drive, 3rd and 3, Ingram was wide open at the first down yard line, and he goes to Thomas, who had 2 guys on him. So, we can win with Trevor, but we're going to have an elite defense, and we're going to have a stud running back, because Trevor is just by himself. To think that Trevor can put this team on his back is ridiculous. So
Nikolai, I appreciate the phone call. Trevor was not good before the injury. Now, was some of that the shoulder issue prior to him getting hurt and leaving the game? I think one of the main talking points today would be the visible frustration from Brian Thomas Jr. on the underthrow. He had Derek Stingley beat. I mean, that needs to be a touchdown. And it was a massive underthrow that Stingley ended up picking off and returning. And that was a bad throw. Now, again, is that an AC joint left shoulder issue, or is that a bad throw from Trevor Lawrence?
Well, it's a bad throw from Trevor. And you got to remember, too, he's been out, he's missed 2 games, right?
Yep.
So he's not taking any of the real reps in practice. So the timing in practice still matters. You know, the timing in practice, you know, when his shoulder was hurt, more than likely he was taking mental reps. Maybe until this past week he probably started taking real reps with the first team or whatever. So the timing, the precision, the all those little nuances between the quarterback and receiver, you know, if you don't work on them on a consistent basis, then, you know, you do what Trevor did.
And that's part of my logic, Coach, is that you got the AC joint issue that they're debating surgery on anyway. The season's over. You take a kill shot today from Al-Shaair, one of the dirtier plays we've seen in quite some time. To me, there are just far more cons than pros to playing Trevor Lawrence another snap in 2024. I don't need to see anymore. You know he's the guy in 2025. Get him healthy. And, again, we'll see in April when off-season workouts begin.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that. And in answer to the gentleman that just called, I would agree with him that he has not shown that he is Josh Allen or Mahomes or, you know, whoever he said, Lamar Jackson, whatever it is, to this point. He has ability enough to be better than average. I think average is a bad term. I do believe, though, that the gentleman is right in that he is not one that can do the whole thing himself. He needs guys around him. Mm-hmm. And that's something that they've got to do. They've got to put guys around that quarterback. He's not going to do it with, you know, we're going to take a guy that they're going to have to look and say, okay, we need to get better at this position. We need to get better at that position. Not necessarily take the best guy a lot of times. Get the best guys for the team around him.
Well, Coach, let me ask you this, though. I mean, those same guys, the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, I mean, they got paid because they can carry a team.
That's right.
Trevor can't carry a team,
correct.
But yet he still got paid.
Oh, yeah, well, I can't speak to the organization.
Yeah.
I mean, the organization, there's only so many quarterbacks out there. Somewhere along the line, they made the decision that this guy could be a guy that's in the top 10. He hasn't proven that he's been in the top 10.
See, here's and you're right. I'm not debating anything you're saying. Right. They have to surround Trevor with talent, but they've tried. They got a first-round running back. They got a first-round wide receiver. They spent big money on Christian Kirk. They spent big money on Gabe Davis. They re-signed Evan Ingram to big money. You know, they spent a lot of money on Brandon Sheriff. They brought Mitch Morse in here. They brought Ezra Cleveland in here, a first-round pick on Anton Harrison, a second-round pick on Walker Whittle. It's not for lack of trying. I know every time this year the Jaguars are out of it, and they're awful. We always say you got to surround Trevor with talent. I will give at least Shad Khan the benefit of the doubt here because maybe Balky's a bad talent evaluator, but Khan has invested the money and the draft picks with this organization to presumably do that, and it has not worked.
It's talent evaluation.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
So that's on Balky then.
Absolutely.
On whoever's making it, the scouts, Balky, Doug Peterson, the assistant coaches, it's on everybody. We if I brought a DB, if we got a DB, wherever I've been, if we got a DB, I didn't make the decision. Everybody made the decision. You know, I'll give you a perfect example. If we were looking at a DB, I looked at 3 or 4 ball games, and I said, here's what this kid can do. Well, the scout sees him 2 years in advance. He sees him as a sophomore, as a junior, whatever. So it's everybody.
It's much more info. Yeah, much more info.
It's not just one guy making that decision, and it's not just Balky. It's everybody. It's the organizational, the personnel guys. It's everybody.
I mean, you could make the argument, Leon, the Jaguars have invested many more resources in surrounding Trevor with talent than what Buffalo has done with Josh Allen. How many big-time free agent wide receivers has Buffalo brought in recently?
Yeah,
they
but
got Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman. And
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not just offensive guys. I'm saying it's team. In other words, you can't win with the defense the way we're playing.
Yeah.
You can't win games that way. I don't care who the quarterback is. When have you seen a team that can't play defense win a championship?
No, that's right. No, the defense has not been any good. And but you talk about the best quarterbacks, like Leon said, the best quarterbacks seem to carry their teams. What has Baltimore done to surround Lamar Jackson with talent? They brought in a 30-year-old Derrick Henry, who people said was over the hill. That's obviously not true. They did spend a first-round pick on Zay Flowers, but then it's like Nelson Aguilar, right? Rashad Bateman, Isaiah Likely, Mark Andrews. I mean, name value alone, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, Christian Kirk are every bit what those guys are. But Lamar Jackson can work with that. Trevor Lawrence, it is not working with the guys here for whatever reason.
Yeah, he's not there. He's not. Well, first of all, he's not even on that same level as those guys we mentioned, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jackson. It's like Trevor, when he jumps in the pool, I mean, the pool stays stagnant. When those guys jump in the pool, the water rises up. So I'm saying those guys, like we just named, they make the people around them better. They utilize the talent and they make it better. Trevor has, he's not there yet. He's absolutely not there yet. He's not there yet.
Let's head down to Orlando. Let's get Matt in here on the fifth quarter. Matt, go ahead.
You ever feel like a big play, you go 40 yards down the field, you're about to get on the air, and then you can't get the play in the next play?
It's no problem, man. We're glad you're with us now. What's going on?
Yeah, so sorry.
Hey,
sorry
Matt,
about the delay game there, boys.
Matt, before you say anything, listen, making a play call when there's about 3 seconds left to make the call is the same way, baby.
Yeah. Coach knows all about it.
No. I knew nobody could get the reference, so I just wanted to put it out there. The shot on Trevor, it was pretty egregious. It kind of reminded me of Hack reporting down from UCF of a friend that said the offensive coordinator hire wasn't good. So, that seemed pretty tough, too.
Yeah, well, that's actually a true story. I'll get into that in a moment.
No, I know. That's heavy reporting, and we got to report it. But anyways, I don't know what to say. I think, you guys said it all. Trevor was bad before he got hurt. And it's kind of the same scenario, right? It's, the defense played good enough today for, when they play good, they play decent. But then the couple big plays, they miss them. We missed a field goal. There's a stink in the building that, I don't know what it is, but it's got to get out. I'll kind of take your comments off the air, but I don't see it ever changing until the whole thing is wiped clean. And obviously the players is something you can't change, but something has to get washed out of the building so we can restart fresh.
Matt, appreciate the phone call. Shad Khan didn't do anything after 52-6. All right. I think, Leon, I know you and I were stunned by that.
We were, yes.
Coach, I think you kind of called that you didn't expect anything. So you were dead on right there. At this point, I don't know what it's going to take for any change. And at this point, it needs to be more than a coordinator. And again, I don't think Doug Peterson has forgotten how to coach. I tend to like Doug. I think he's a good football guy. But it's obviously not working here. Balky, I was wrong about that. I defended Balky this offseason. He hasn't been a good general manager. The results just simply aren't there. And losses keep accumulating. The same stuff keeps happening. Groundhog Day over and over and over. I can go ahead and tell you, I'll be Nostradamus here. They're going to be in Nashville on Sunday. They'll be midway through the second quarter, and they'll have one first down. They'll get the ball first. They'll go 3 and out, and they'll overthrow guys. And they'll have a false start on a key third down. I mean, it never changes. It's the same thing over and over and over. And I guess at this point, the owner just tolerates it, and I don't really understand why. And maybe I'm not supposed to understand why. Maybe none of us are.
Yeah, that's a disheartening thing about it, Hack, is that I know he cares, but first of all, billionaires don't like to be told what to do. Coach worked one. I'm sure they don't like to be told what to do. This is their franchise, so he'll fire and hire whoever the hell he wants to when he wants to. I'm sure that's already in his mind. But he does have an ear to the fan base. He does care. But he comes across that he doesn't, because he doesn't say anything. And I'm not sure if that's fair or not. But everybody thought that after that debacle in Detroit, that everybody was going to get fired.
You don't release...
And everybody deservingly was supposed to get fired.
I can't believe a statement wasn't released. If you were going to keep Doug, you should have just released a statement. And you don't need to explain yourself.
No.
But people were checking Twitter every 10 seconds for like 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And at a certain point, you're like, okay, I guess they're not going to do anything. You had no idea. It was wild.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah. So, but this, listen, this 2-10 is on him as much as it is on the players. It's a organizational failure. This is on your worksheet, your print sheet. What's the record? 62
and 145.
Yeah, that's you.
They've lost 70% of the games since he's been owner.
That's you. That's on your resume, on your watch.
And there are facets, coach, of Shad Khan that make him a terrific owner. He doesn't meddle. He lets the football guys do what they want. He gives the resources, money for extensions and free agency. He built that brand new, beautiful Miller Electric Center. For goodness gracious, he's keeping the team in Jacksonville. All right. I think most of us that have a vested interest in the Jaguars owe some sort of gratitude to Shad Khan because he did not have to keep the team here, and he did. And that he's wonderful in that regard. I can't say a negative thing about the man. He just hasn't made very good hires.
Well, I'm old school now, okay? And the best decision, in my opinion, that Shad Khan has made since he's been here was Tom Coughlin. The worst decision he made since he's been here was firing Tom Coughlin because they need another football man in there along with that group. If this is the same group that's here next year, they need another guy here. They need somebody between the owner and the general manager that has got his ear to what's going on and what has to happen.
You mean when the GM tells the owner this is the best team we've ever had?
Correct.
Maybe the GM might need to report to a senior EVP or something.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then he can go tell the owner what the GM is saying.
And I understand that Tony Khan is kind of that guy. I don't know that. But
Tony's so busy with his wrestling company.
And he's not a football guy.
No.
Tom Coughlin was the right guy for this program. I don't care. The guys got burned up, this and that. That's the way it goes because he knows how to do it, and they need one of those kind of guys in that room.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get one more in on this side. Again, if you're on the line, we'll get to you. We're with you till 8 o'clock tonight. Let's go to Jonathan. Jonathan, what's going on?
The defense looked okay at times until they gave up the big play. Offense looked average again. And then that cheap shot on Trevor, I mean, that was despicable. That was dirty. And what's his name? Alzir?
Al-Shaair, yeah. Aziz Al-Shaair.
Yeah, that's not the first time he's done that. He's done it on Trevor. He's done it on Caleb Williams, as you said. And I saw a clip where he tried at 1 year to go for Tom Brady's throat when he was playing for the Bucs. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think that guy's a dirty player. I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Appreciate the call. He's absolutely a dirty player. You don't have to hate to say it all. That's a dirty player. You don't go forearm shot to the head with a guy sliding, and then you double down on it by trying to fight the entire team. You were in the wrong. You were a you-know-what on that play. And when your own teammates and your own head coach are looking at you like, what the hell are you doing? That's when you just need to go into the locker room. Then you don't need to start another fight. And by the way, I would have paid good money for them to let Brandon Sheriff get to that guy. Because I don't think that would have worked out well for Al-Shaair if Brandon Sheriff would actually have got. Brandon Sheriff looked like he wanted to do some business in the end zone. All right, Brandon Sheriff, just knowing Brandon Sheriff and covering him, he just doesn't seem like a guy you would want very angry at you. And I just wish they would have let him go, get Tony Khan, get an AEW ring out there, and let him have at it, because that would have been good things to see. It was not good, the result. Jacksonville loses 23-20. The Jaguars now 2-10 on the year. Savannah, Jag, Brian, Steve, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. We'll also give a defensive player of the game as well. Houston now sweeps Jacksonville. The Jaguars 2-10 on the year, but all is not lost, because by my knowledge, with the winning percentage of all the teams you've played, the Jaguars still would currently have the number one pick in the 2025 draft if it were held today. More to do. Fifth quarter rolls on. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Choose your social channel.
Twitter at 1010XL, Facebook at 1010XL, Instagram at 1010XL, TikTok at 1010XL, YouTube at 1010XL. 1010XL is there.
Bull riding. The perfect fusion of strength, skill, and pure willpower. Professional bull riders aren't just athletes. They're daredevils with cowboy souls. Come experience the true modern West, where 8 seconds of glory will create a lifetime of memories. It's the Michelob Ultra PBR Jacksonville at ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, February 22nd and 23rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com and PBR.com. Hold on tight. The ride of your life is about to begin.
Huddle up at Hurricane Grill and Wings, where every day is game day. Dig into fan-favorite dishes and new shareables, including carne asada loaded fries, hot honey wings, and boom boom sliders. Try new cocktails like the spicy Guavarita and the Red Bullarita, or enjoy bucket specials featuring Miller Lite, Modelo Especial, and High Noon during all pro and college football games. Don't miss out. Grab your friends and family and swing by Hurricane Grill and Wings and see what everyone's cheering about. HurricaneWings.com.
Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions from my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options. Bold City AC. We got the crew. Bold City AC. Visit boldcityac.com.
Jags Hall of Famer Tony Baselli puts on his gold jacket every Monday morning at 7:20 on The Drill.
Does look good.
It's Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli.
Good? It's great.
Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida on 1010XL.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. Clayton, you talk a lot about a diamond's cut grade. Why is a diamond graded for cut?
Frank, that's simple. We cut grade diamonds to show a measurement of beauty and light return to the person looking at the diamond so they can understand the value difference between a diamond cut for maximum beauty and one cut for maximum weight. Now, it gets a little more complicated when you find out that the American Gem Society Laboratory actually assigns performance grades and proportion grades using patented computer software and grades for polish and symmetry using a microscope. The end result of cut grading is a final grade that can go from a 0 or ideal to a 10, which is poor. Each of these grades are priced a little differently. That's why you can see a diamond with a fine color and clarity priced low, particularly on the internet, because a trained gemologist won't buy it for resale because of the poor cut. Unfortunately, these type deals aren't good deals. They're bad deals for the unknowing customer.
Underwoods in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, Three Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of the United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Hope everyone enjoyed Thanksgiving. Let's get the week started off right with MyBookie. This weekend, we've got an NFL game Friday night, a ton of college games Saturday, and, of course, some bangers on NFL Sunday. Jacksonville hosts the Texans at 1 p.m. Sunday, is a 5.5-point home dog. Take the points, take the Jaguars. The Texans are playing 13 games in their 13 weeks. They need a bye. The Jaguars are fresh. Next, the Ravens are 2.5-point home favorites over the Eagles. Take the Eagles there. Then Sunday Night Football, San Francisco is in Buffalo. I like the Bills there. I like them big. Still, the best sign-up deposit bonus in the industry is available to Florida bettors, so what are you waiting for? Sign up now, get a double deposit bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit up to $1,000. Again, that's promo code 1010XL. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Make yourself a winner this weekend with MyBookie.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores.
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJags.com. You've got a front row seat for Jaguars football all year long. This is 1010XL, WJXL AM and FM, Jacksonville Beach, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The Window World of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
Inside handoff, Mixon again to the left side, lowers the shoulder, he's into the end zone, touchdown. The first touchdown of the game, a 7-yard touchdown run by Joe Mixon, and Houston has retaken the lead with 8:04 to play in the third.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio. Boy, what a pickup Joe Mixon has been for the Houston Texans. They got him for a 7th-round pick. A 7th-round pick to Cincinnati. Joe Mixon to Houston, and he has been absolutely sensational. They say the running back position you don't want to spend big money on. Well, look at Saquon Barkley in Philly. Look at Derrick Henry in Baltimore. And look at Joe Mixon in Houston. 3 offseason additions that you could argue all 3 guys are the MVP of their given teams. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you a defensive player of the game. That defensive player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. RJ, let's do it now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
All right, Coach, a lot of angles we could have gone with this. We're going to spread the wealth a little bit. We're going to give it to Devin Lloyd this week. 6 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass defense that appeared 33, was pretty active today. And a result of that, Devin Lloyd is this week's defensive player of the game.
Well, and he deserved it. He had a good ball game. I think he, really, he's taken a few hits on our show in the past, and I think he deserved it today. I think the defense as a whole, going with a 5 line up front, freed up the linebackers a little bit, allowed them to do a few things. I think they did a good job with that.
Leon, I got a text here. We addressed it early, but I guess people are just tuning in. We're at halftime, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. They want to know, you and or Baselli, if somebody would have done to Burnell what Al-Shaair did to Trevor Lawrence today, what are you and or Baselli, what would you have done about it back in the day?
Ooh. We would have wailed on them, of course. We would have wailed on at that particular point. If somebody takes a cheap shot at your quarterback, you don't care about the flag, you don't care about the fine. That's your brother. You're there to protect him. If he did with that to I wouldn't have been kind. Let me just say
that's like the offensive lineman code, right?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I wouldn't have been kind to him. I tell you that right now. He might have got what you call it in wrestling, where you pick up a guy and drop him on his head.
Oh, power bomb.
There you go, that part right.
Power bomb, body slammed.
He could have got that. Me and Bo have been known to. First of all, we don't like defensive players. No, don't take offense, Coach. But if they had done something like that to Brunell,
but really all you guys, it was you, Baselli, Weidel, Tilsky,
Ben Coleman, all those type of guys. But see, they did the right thing, and see, that's an offensive lineman move. And Coach saw it on the screen when they showed it on the TV. Offensive linemen, when they do something like that to your quarterback, whoever it is, you pick them up and you throw them to your sideline.
Yeah.
And they did it.
That's a lineman move. That was an offensive lineman that did that. Trust me.
I don't know if you were still on the team. I remember Wiegert got ejected. Bolware hit Burnell
No, I
late.
was hurt. That was 2000.
Oh, 2000.
I was hurt.
And Wiegert went ballistic on Peter Bolware.
I remember that.
And got thrown out of the game.
I remember that.
So,
That's kind of why the argument about it never should have been offsetting penalties and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It was the guy, they should have penalized the guy that caused the ruckus.
Who initiated it. Yes, absolutely.
Jarian Jones got thrown out of the game, too, for throwing a punch.
I hate that equilibrium type of stuff. No, you point out the villain. He did wrong, and you address it.
By the way, kudos to Jarian Jones. Kudos to Evan Ingram. All of those guys that were in there. Brandon Sheriff. I love it. You got to defend your guy in that situation.
And believe it or not, when it comes to stuff like that, if a player on the team gets fined, usually collectively as a teammates collectively pay the fine.
Yeah,
if it's warranted.
Let's go back to the phone line, 641-1010. Houston 23, Jacksonville 20. The Jaguars now 2-10 on the year. Let's go up to Savannah. Get Savannah Jag in here on the fifth corner. Savannah Jag, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
We got you, buddy. What's happening?
Yeah, I was just saying that, I love the coach, but Tom Coughlin, no. You got to respect those players. Those young millionaires, they don't like being disrespected like that. But
are you talking about hold up real quick. Are you talking about the Jalen Ramsey thing?
Well, all the stuff.
Because I can assure you, Coughlin was not the culprit there.
Okay, well, all the stuff with the grievance with him, with T.J. Yeldon and Leonard Fournette sitting on the bench, and he charged them like $100,000.
Well, regardless.
That wasn't a grievance.
Yeah. All right. What's your thought about today's game?
Well, the thing about it is this. I say like Trevor Lawrence, he like one caller said, he misses a lot of guys who are free, but Trevor not only he likes the pretty throws, and he'll miss the simple throws to get the pretty throws. Like when we played Cleveland, there was a guy that was in front of the end zone. He threw over his head and tried to throw to a wide receiver that had two guys on him. And sometimes it works because now when we played Green Bay, Evan Ingram could pretty catch above two players, and it worked. But it don't always work. But he seemed like he just looked for the pretty throws instead of some of the simple throws.
Savannah Jag, appreciate it. He was fired up on that call. What's your take on that? Does Trevor not do what he should in some of those situations?
Well, first of all, I'm not all I can say is that he misses some throws.
So you're giving this some deep thought before you comment.
Well, he's missing some throws. I mean, there's no question about that. Okay, and all I'm saying is that there's a time that you go downfield and try to make a big play, as opposed to getting the ball to a guy that's open. I'm a big proponent of, from a defensive standpoint, take what they give you. You know, because you try to throw everything down the field, or you try to throw certain things. That's what the defense wants you to do. You know, take what they give you. And I don't know that he does that all the time. Let me put it that way. So the guy might have a point to a certain extent there.
Leon, there's no question on the interception by Stingley. There was some visible frustration from Brian Thomas Jr. It was a bad underthrow. It was a bad ball by Trevor Lawrence. Now, we're not talking about it because, obviously, of the hit, and that's the big story. But BTJ was not happy about that, and I don't blame him.
I mean, because he was frustrated because the initial route, he had outrun him.
Oh, he had Stingley cooked.
He had him burnt. You know, I mean, not only did he underthrow him, he was late on the throw as well because he gave the safety opportunity to come over, because initially on the route, he's at least a yard and a half in front of Stingley. Yeah. You know, you've got to let it loose. And it's just unfortunate that Trevor, and he's been hurt, and the timing and practice and all that kind of stuff right there. But, you know, when you've been practicing, you've been healthy like BTJ has, and, you know, you want to start winning some ball games, man. I mean, I don't know if he went to LSU. They won a lot.
Yeah, imagine being a guy that goes to LSU. You're going 9-3 minimum every year, and now you're 2-10.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be some frustration. Absolutely. If you're with a team in college where they're averaging 9-10 wins a season, you come here and you're 2-10 and 2-9, and you're losing ball games, and your quarterback's underthrowing and overthrowing you. It's got to be a little frustrating.
Let's go down to Melbourne. Let's get Steve in here on the fifth quarter on 1010XL. Steve, what do you got?
Hey, guys. How you doing? I agree with you, Hack. I would have loved to see that. I would have put my money on Brandon Sheriff. You don't go up against a very big, bearded man that rips off his helmet saying, "Young buck, come on."
Yeah, that would have been a problem for Al-Shaair, I think.
But no, I agree. I see the frustration from BTJ. He's kind of in the same boat as Malik Neighbors, except Brian Thomas is the quiet one about it. But no, you could clearly in the beginning of the game see the rust. Like Leon said, you're 2 weeks without practicing at all, then 1 week of limited practice. The timing's probably off. He did underthrow that. But my two grievances is, and one goes to Coach Campo, and I know he's tried to explain it and tried to see, but this secondary is, I don't know if there's that many miscues or whatever. That one deep ball that Darby somehow caught up to, I think Cisco bit on the under route, and, you know, Darby has to play catch up. And they got away from the run. You know, right after the injury, they just started pounding away, and it was working. And then, like, the beginning of the third quarter, it's not a big blowout game or anything. You can still run the ball, and it's like they got away from it again. And I just don't know what's going on with that.
Steve, thank you for the phone call. What about the secondary, Coach?
Well, I think there's a little bit of riverboat gambling going on over there. Definitely on that one for sure. You know, I think that the guy in the slot that he jumped on was Nico Collins, right?
You're talking about Cisco.
It was Dell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dell on the deep ball.
It was a heck of a play by Darby because he thought Cisco was going to be over the top.
Well, yeah. First of all, it was a heck of a play by Darby, but it wasn't like it was a double cover. He got beat.
Wow.
He was beaten, and the free safety was nowhere to be found. Let me put it that way. So they made some mistakes. I mean, obviously, we've seen it every week. Somebody's busted a coverage or whatever, and that's, you know, Doug said he said in his press conference that we're still, you know, doing some things that you just can't believe, and that's one of them. I mean, Savage on the touchdown to the tight end was ridiculous.
Well, and not to speak out of turn, Leon, it certainly appeared to me that Cisco got sat down for a couple series after the Darby breakup, that Cisco was not on the field. And there was no injury issue with Cisco. So that leads the mind to wonder if they benched him, essentially, for at least a little bit. And I think it's pretty obvious now why Foyer got an extension, why Campbell got an extension, Hines, Allen, Trevor, all these guys got extensions. Cisco didn't. I would be hard-pressed to see Cisco back here in 2025.
No, he won't be back here. No, and you know what? It's okay. I mean, I keep saying my era, but if you're underperforming, you're underwhelming, you sit your butt down. We'll find somebody else can do it because it's clear that he did. He undercut that. He should have went over the top to help Darby on that thing.
And Darby was fired up about it,
Yeah,
too.
absolutely. So, I mean, they probably had the conversation on the sideline, and when they realized that Cisco was wrong, you sit him down. I mean, he's not untouchable. He doesn't get excluded. If he plays bad, he sits the bench.
Jaguars are good to give up a wide-open touchdown at least once a game.
Yeah.
You know, going back to last year, remember David Njoku could have fair caught a couple of touchdowns in Cleveland.
Yeah.
You know, Dalton Schultz could have fair caught that touchdown today. They're going to get somebody 20 yards without a Jaguar near them. And they're going to give up at least one of those a game, whether it's Mike Caldwell as the DC or now Ryan Nielsen.
And here's the frustration thing, and Coach will probably add to this too. I mean, if you get beat physically, I mean, coaches can understand that.
Absolutely.
But if you're getting beat on stuff that we've gone over all week long, we prep for it. You take tests. I don't even know if they take tests anymore, Coach. You take tests for it, all that kind of stuff. If you just have mental errors like that, that's what frustrates coaches.
And let me tell you something. You're right in my wheelhouse because, you know, I mean, I got in a poop eating contest with a guy on the Cowboys.
Oh, yeah.
For making mistakes.
Yeah.
And you can't allow it. And if you allow it, it'll happen. If guys are riverboat gambling, you better get them straightened out or else it's going to happen. It's going to happen over and over.
And it's happened
that's
from
not
opening
happening.
80 yards for Tyreek Hill, you know, all the way opening day.
Yep.
To where we are. The Jaden Reed bust against Green Bay. You can just go on down the line. All the busts that have happened, every single. That's what I'm talking about, Groundhog Day. Not only on offense, they're going to go 3 and out against the Titans on Sunday. I'm going to predict the future. They're going to get the ball first in either the first quarter or the third quarter, and they will go 3 and out. And at some point in that game in Nashville in 6 days, either Calvin Ridley or Tyler Boyd or whomever is going to have a wide open big play for Tennessee. And there will be some sort of bust in the Jaguar secondary because that is who the Jaguars are. As I always say, when a team shows you who they are, believe them. And the Jaguar defense has shown us they will bust a coverage.
Absolutely.
Calvin Ridley's going deep on
Calvin Ridley is probably going to be very fired up. Would be my assumption.
Yes, for sure. He's going to be running 9 routes, trust me.
As a guy that has Calvin Ridley in a few fantasy leagues, I will be playing him in my lineup next week when the Jaguars go to Nashville. Let's get one more on this side. If you're on the line, we'll get to you. Let's go to the south side. Let's get Brian in here on the 5th quarter. Brian, what do you got?
What's going on, guys? Just two main comments. One comment is I just feel like Shad Khan is going to unfortunately go through the same mistake he went through with Dave Caldwell. He kept him a year too much, gave him the power of those 2 beautiful first-round draft picks that he basically screwed up, right? And then we're about to basically give Balky that control once again to basically do with it what he wants. I think that's just going to be a big mistake that's going to push the organization back. Not from the city standpoint, but, again, what we actually care about, and that's the actual team. And then the other thing is, just the other comment is, I feel like GMs should be basically held responsible with the number of Pro Bowls that they can actually show and present in any of the years that they're basically a part of the organization. And once again, I just Balky, what does he have to show for that, basically?
Brian, appreciate the phone call. Yeah, not much. And I thought they kept Dave Caldwell a few years too long. Dave Caldwell was here for 8 years. He got parts of 8 years. He got 3 contracts. He was awful as a GM. Awful. Now, Trent Baalke's better than Dave Caldwell, which isn't saying much. That's relative.
Not saying much, bro.
Right? And Trent Baalke's the best GM they've had in the last 15 years because the 2 previous ones were Gene Smith and Dave Caldwell. And now they got Trent Baalke. And that's 15 years of Jaguar football for you right there, ladies and gentlemen, which is why they're 62-145 in their last 207 regular season games. Every week on the 5th quarter, we give you a special teams player of the game. It is brought to you by Crown Royal. Sure, that was flowing today, watching the Jaguars and the Texans. Let's do it right now. The Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Leon, I need thoughts. I need perspective. More importantly, I need analysis. Logan Cook, 4 punts, an average of 48, 2 inside the 20. Your thoughts on Logan Cook's performance today?
Logan Cook right now is the Jaguars MVP for the season. I mean, no joke. I mean, he's having an all-pro year, is he not?
He is?
Yes. I mean, if anything, he'll probably be the only Jaguar to go to Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I would have said Cam Little maybe, but the 55-yarder today. The special teams has been good up until today, but Logan Cook was good today. So take a bow, Logan Cook. The Jaguars are 2-10. The sky is falling, but all is not lost as you are this week's Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. We'll come back. We'll take your phone calls. James, DJ, Leo, all you guys hang in there. We're with you till 8 o'clock as we roll on the fifth quarter, the Window World of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. All phone calls tonight on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. More to do here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
I did not see this one coming.
Radio play-by-play is like stepping in a theater in your mind.
As good as it gets.
1010XL, Jacksonville's home for play-by-play.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com/Duval. That's WM.com/Duval and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our first contestant, a stay-at-home gymnast from Jacksonville, Florida. It's Gwendolyn Pierce.
Thank you, Monty. I don't know who installed my air conditioner, but it hasn't had a tune-up in over 3 years. Am I cool?
Let's ask our expert judging panel. Judges? I'm sorry, Gwendolyn. You're not cool. Johnny, tell her why.
That's right. To keep your air conditioner performing at its best, you need a skilled technician to check your pressures, voltages, and air filters in the fall and the spring. At Bueller Air and Plumbing, our club members get 2 free visits a year to make sure that you are cool.
Can you tell me if my haircut is sexy?
You're better off not asking.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxpayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today, and let's score big for education at TaxpayerGatorBowl.com.
Welcome to Rockville. North America's largest rock festival returns to the Daytona International Speedway in 2025 with Green Day, Korn, Shinedown, and Linkin Park. Plus Bad Omens, Incubus, Good Charlotte, Rob Zombie, Alice in Chains, Pierce the Veil, Marilyn Manson, 3 Days Grace, Sublime, Hailstorm, I Prevail, 3 Doors Down, Jimmy Eat World, Motionless in White, Bush, Chevelle, Mudvayne, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville takes over the Daytona International Speedway May 15th to the 18th, 2025. 5 stages, 4 days, and over 150 bands. 4-day, single-day camping and VIP passes on sale now at welcometoRockville.com.
This college football season, we're celebrating more than touchdowns. It's time to honor playmakers of the classroom. Thanks to FIS and the College Football Playoff Foundation, Gator Bowl Charities is surprising 16 local teachers with $1,000 each week. Every honored teacher gets a special invitation to the Taxpayer Gator Bowl January 2nd to be celebrated on the field. Teachers from Clay, Duval, Nassau, and St. Johns County, grades K through 12 are eligible. Nominate a deserving teacher today and let's score big for education at taxpayergatorbowl.com.
Follow the Canes as they storm the ACC.
I'm 1010XL's JJ LaSelva, and every week I'll bring you the Miami news and notes you need to know.
The Performance Painting Hurricane Report on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
They leave the offense on the field. They're going for it on 4th and 8 from the 22-yard line. Dropping an all-out blitz here. Max fires toward the right corner, and that ball is going to be caught by Parker Washington into the end zone. Touchdown. There's a touchdown. There's a flag on the play, but Parker went up and got it and ran it into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown for Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. Parker Washington, 6 grabs for 103 yards, including that touchdown from Mac Jones. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a play of the game. That play of the game is brought to you by Performance Painting. Let's do it right now. The Performance Painting play of the game.
Now, the Performance Painting high performance play of the game. Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
And Leon, it is the touchdown to Parker Washington. That's going to be an interesting one. Remember, the rumor was, had Christian Kirk not got hurt against, who was that? Green Bay, I believe, had not gotten hurt, that the Jaguars were interested in trading him, or that was at least the rumor.
To Pittsburgh, right?
To Pittsburgh. And now you see Parker go out there, 6 grabs for 103 yards. Look, I hope Kirk returns next year, but the dollars have to make sense because it looks like you have something in Parker Washington.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you got something in Parker Washington. For the Jaguars to even consider that means that they had to have seen enough in Parker Washington where they could make that kind of move. So, I mean, if you want Christian Kirk here next year, more than likely, You have to take the hometown discount. You got to take a pay cut, probably.
And that is going to be, look, Coach, you're looking for things to look at for the next 5 games. I mean, reality is what it is. The team's terrible, and at this point, wins are probably not good for draft positioning and whatnot. But Parker Washington, to me, is right at the top of the list, along with Brian Thomas Jr., of the young guys you want to see in the last month of the year.
Yeah, I'd say he's be one of those, and I think Tank Bigsby will be continue. I think Brenton Strange, is another one.
Ventrell Miller, Jari Jones.
I mean, young guys, you want to see them, look, especially if you're out of the playoffs, which could be tomorrow, right?
Yeah, it could be tomorrow.
You want to see the young guys play, that's for sure.
It was nice to see Mason Smith actually play today.
Well, Mason Smith actually played okay today. He wasn't great, but he looked like I don't know what the story was. I don't know if his ankle was hurt or what the deal was, but they kind of alternate between he and the other guy, the guy from LSU, the other tackle.
Oh, Jefferson
on being one up and the other one down. I don't know what the deal is.
Have we gotten 100 plays out of Mason Smith this whole season?
No.
50?
Maybe. He's been inactive far more than he's been active.
That's what I'm making a second-round pick.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a bad pick right now. It's a bad pick.
Yeah.
Healthy scratch. Hasn't been in for 50 plays.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Even as a rotational guy.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And hopefully it takes a while to figure it out. And who knows? He had an ankle apparently the last couple of weeks. He did not have an ankle at the beginning of the year. He was just a healthy scratch in September. Yeah. So 641-1010 is the phone number. Let's get some phone calls in. Let's go to the south side. Get James in here on 1010XL. James, what's going on?
Hey, guys. How about this? Instead of blaming Balky and blaming Peterson, who won the Super Bowl, by the way, don't forget that, I put it on the players, okay? From Pop Warner to high school to college, you know what I'm saying? It's all about players. And these guys are pros. And I blame the players more than the coaching. You can bring Belichick in here whoever you want, and I just think it's the players. And I don't know what we're going to do about it, but I just think let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. I hear you about Peterson, but who is bringing in these players? It's Trent Baalke, so you don't blame him at all?
I do blame him, but they're supposed to be professionals, right? Professional football players, not just average guys, professionals. And I don't understand why we can't get it done being professional football players. That's all I'm saying.
James, appreciate the phone call. Yeah, but every team has 53 professional football players.
They're all getting paid.
But the other general managers that are not the GM here in Jacksonville seem to bring in better professional football players.
Ding, 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 ding,
which
ding,
is
ding.
A problem when you're trying to win games and you're not as good as the other professional football players.
Exactly. That's the key. I mean, it's Jimmy's and Joe's, not X's and O's, more to say. But you got to bring in the right X's and you got to bring in the right Jimmy's and Joe's.
I get it. People are frustrated.
Yeah.
You're looking for answers.
Now, when you got guys busting coverages now, you got to blame the coaches a little bit on that. That's their responsibility to make sure guys don't bust coverages.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a combination. And I agree, you got to have players. If you don't have players, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Everybody asked me how have I been so successful in 46 years? I said I've been around good players.
Yeah.
But they have to buy in, and the coach has to make sure that they're putting them in positions where they can succeed.
And the players have to be professionals.
Yeah.
Because you just don't walk out there on Sunday and play a game. It's the process of throughout the week. The film, the breaking down, the practicing, all that kind of stuff, all those aspects. So what that tells me is if the team is doing this, because when Doug gets up in the press and says that he doesn't understand why this team is not playing at that well, I don't believe him.
Yeah.
I don't believe him.
Me neither.
Because you see that during practice and it's being allowed. And if it's being allowed, that means you're going to see it on Sunday. So I don't believe him when he says, I don't understand why this team is performing like this because we have great practices. No, you don't.
And it's not even really a Doug Peterson issue at this point. I mean, that's the recent issue. That's the prevalent one right now. But a big picture issue, they've had double-digit wins 0 times in the last 17 years. 17 years, they haven't won more than 10 games. The last 10-win season they had, Actually, I checked that. They had one. I think 2017 they had 10 wins.
They had 10, yeah.
20, so they've had one in the last 17 years. That's incredible. I mean, you can luck your way into 10-6 every 5 or 6 years in the NFL. One would think. Nope. Jaguars have had one of those in 17 seasons.
That's sad.
It's absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. Let's go to Jacksonville Beach. Let's get DJ in here on the fifth quarter. DJ, what do you got?
Skinny hack. You pretty much nailed the head. You kind of took it out of. So basically, yeah, it's been 17 years since I've been here, and man, I've been listening to you forever, and we have nothing to show for it. Like it's.
Well, I'd like to think I've entertained you a little bit over the last 17 years.
Oh, man. Like, I hate to sound this way, man, but, like, I'm kind of actually, I can't believe I'm ready to say it. Let's get Bill in here. Let's get Bill Belichick. Let's get a culture. Like, the culture around here stinks, and, like, I know that Tom got a lot of trouble for it, but, like, people will run through a wall for that guy. And I'm sure Leon knows. I mean, you run through a wall for these guys, and it's all about winning. We need to build a winning culture. You can sit around here for 7 years and not get fired and do nothing. I'll take my comments off the air. Sorry.
DJ, no, you're good. We appreciate the venting session. That's what we're here for. Leon and I and Coach, we've all grown quite accustomed to this over the last decade or so doing the fifth quarter. This is borderline 1-15 in 2020. I mean, we're getting into that territory. I mean, they're 2-10 right now, and I don't know if they're going to win another game. And this narrative, and I told Gus this on the Duval Rundown earlier, I had people telling me, well, if they get hot, and they could win 5 of their last 6 before today, obviously, or they could win 4 of the last 6, on what planet are you living on? The last time they took the field, they lost 52-6 and gave up a third of a mile on defense to the Detroit Lions. And you're going to come at me saying, well, we could win 4 out of 6 or 5 out of 6? No, they're not. Tennessee is going to crush them in Nashville. You know why Tennessee is going to crush them in Nashville? Because Jaguars aren't very good.
That's what they do.
And Tennessee looks like they still have a little moxie to them. They went into Houston and beat the Texans last week. Calvin Ridley's going to be unbelievably fired up. I just don't get this narrative that Jacksonville could reel off a couple of wins in a row here. I don't know if they're going to win again this year. I think they might finish 2-15.
Yeah. You know what, this season is probably worse because there was no real expectations for 1-15. When we won the first game against the Colts, we were like, oh, okay, we got us a little something. And then we tallied, then we just ran the table on the rest of the season.
And at the end there, you wanted to lose for Trevor.
Yeah, we wanted to lose for Trevor. And we kind of expected this team was terrible and whatever. We needed to blow it up and then restart it with a new quarterback and everything. But this season, with this team, with the expectations of coming off a disappointing last year when you're 8-3, and you're number 1 seed in the AFC, and then you stumble, you collapse, down the stretch, and you're out the playoffs. You thought that this team would revamp and redeem itself, but they're the same old team they were last year.
I will tell you this. The last 2 home games for this home slate are against the 3-9 Titans and the 3-9 Jets. So they are going to earn their money down at Everbank Stadium for those last 2 home games. And then you also on the road at the 2-10 Raiders, and you play the 3-9 Titans again on the road. So 3-9, 3-9, 3-9, 2-10 are the 4 opponents. And I still don't think Jacksonville might win any of those.
We're must not see TV.
Oh, I mean, that game in Nashville on Sunday, Coach, is going to be a doozy. You got, what is that, a combined record of 5? When you have 5-19 as your combined record, which is what the Titans and the Jaguars are, what a ball game that should be on Sunday. I'm excited about previewing that all week. That's number 1 pick in the draft stuff is what that is.
It'll probably be 1 score.
Yeah, who wants to win that game? Both Tennessee and Jacksonville are fighting and scratching and clawing for that number 1 pick, and they see each other twice in the next 4 weeks.
Really a shame.
It's unreal. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by our friends at Randy Marion Cadillac. And RJ, let's do it now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
23-12, the Jaguars got the ball at their own 16-yard line. 10 plays, 84 yards, 2 minutes and 26 seconds off the clock, resulting in a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to cut it to 23-20. That 10-play, 84-yard drive is this week's Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Let's squeeze one more in on this side. Leo's been on hold forever. Leo, you're on the fifth quarter. What's happening?
Gentlemen, thank you. I'll try to be real quick. I just wanted to say, I called in a few weeks back and said that I think Evan Ingram is the best free agent pickup that this team has had, and I agree today. After I saw what he did after Trevor took that hit, he didn't hesitate at all. I'm glad the referees didn't eject him out of the game. Let me tell you, that man's been professional since he's been here with his play on the field. And don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying that Trevor didn't deserve to be looked at for like that, but his play, like that man acted and treated him like he was Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or something. The way Evan Ingram went on that guy, quickly. I just like Evan Ingram. It's too bad we don't have 21 more guys like him. The professional attitude to go about their business. I'm not saying that to try to help Balky either. Coach, you said something earlier that struck a nerve with me. I wasn't even going to call in today, but you couldn't be more right when you said about Shad Khan, how he dismissed Tom Coughlin. I didn't like that because I was just talking about how we just had 1 10-win season. Coughlin was a part of that, and I don't like the way he did that, man. Then I wanted to ask y'all something. Y'all know who Clark Hunt is? That's the CEO of the Chiefs. I don't know if y'all saw what he did after the Chiefs lost their first game to the Bills. He came out and he ripped his team. And I did some studying and little research on him and found out he's one of the worst owners in the league. Who would have figured, though? The worst owner in the league. They say they got a horrible facility out there. He's not buying new stadiums. He's not giving them everything they want. And that man's only winning Super Bowls. And he comes out and he addresses and dressed down his team after they lose their first game. It's a big difference. And I wanted to give one more shout out before I go. Because as I get older, hindsight is 20/20, and I want to appreciate Mr. Wayne Weaver and Dolores Weaver. That man was 138 and 134 when he sold his team. 4 games over 500. I didn't even know this, right? And I've heard people say, I can't believe we had a Super Bowl in Jacksonville. Don't know why we had a Super Bowl in Jacksonville. Wayne Weaver loved this city. But despite the coffee house, the jail, the homeless people down there, he still got the Super Bowl to come here. Yeah, they ripped us after the fact. That man knew what this city was when they awarded the football team here. He loved this town. He wasn't trying to give it a makeover and a BBL and a facelift and augmentation, and it's not pretty enough. He brought a Super Bowl here. He was 4 games over 500, and Tom Coughlin was a big part of that. And I appreciate all that more and more. And this owner, I think, should pay attention to some of the other owners around the league and some of the other things going on around.
We appreciate the phone call. We got to go. Really interesting thoughts there. Yeah. Coach, you want to comment?
Well, no, I think the guy is right on it. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of it has to do with it's a complete organization. It's not just the head coach or the GM or the players. It's an organization, and the organization has to be somebody that's at least involved in some way. I mean, you just can't sit back and let everybody do everything and just anticipate that you're going to have the right guys all the time.
Well, heck, I tell you why me and some of the former Jaguars get frustrated by this team because we laid the foundation to put Jacksonville on the map.
Right.
And they live in a nice house now, okay? It wasn't always so nice when we were here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they live in a nice house, get a new stadium, got a new facilities. You would think they'd be a little bit grateful and show it on the field. That's why we get frustrated because we didn't have much when we were here, but we cared enough about this city to where we represented Duval to the fullest. And how we represent Duval to the fullest? Back to back to back to back playoff appearances and 2 championships. So that's what we get frustrated because you got nice all around you. I mean, play up to that or to those potentials of that. That's why we get frustrated because it wasn't always so nice for us. And now you're reaping the benefits of us putting Jacksonville on the map, and then you go out and you play the way you play.
1 segment to go, the 5th quarter. We'll try to take as many calls as we can. 23-20, Houston over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville 2-10 on the year and officially eliminated from AFC South competition.
Here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You've got so many chances to win big on Hard Rock Bet. Even a small bet can bring in that serious cash. All you need is $1 and a dream.
Unbelievable. They've hit the parlay. Let's go!
Big payouts for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
It's the end of the year sale with Universal Roof and Contracting. Get 15% off all roof repairs and replacements, plus a $250 gift card for holiday shopping. With financing options as low as $150 a month, protecting your home's never been easier. Schedule your free roof inspection today. Call 855-ROOF-HELP, and this offer expires December 31st. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com. Bold City AC, heating that rules.
Is your AC ready for the holidays? Bold City Heating and Air ensures your AC stays in tip-top shape. We know that a clean AC is a healthy AC. Upgrade yours for just $96 a month and enjoy free duct cleanings with your new system. Plus, ask about our 0% financing options.
Bold City AC, we got the crew. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Get more Gators on the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Friday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL's Gator Bites podcast wherever you find podcasts and at 1010XL.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Go with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Greetings from Daytona, where a band of dreamers took a strip of beach and turned it into a proving ground. The Great American Race, where year after year, greatness is the destination.
Drivers, start your engines, let's go!
So book your experience and soak in 500 miles of history and tradition. The Daytona 500, February 16th, 2025. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
It's a game 80 years in the making. Join us for Thursday Night Football as we celebrate the 80th birthday of the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl game. The SEC and ACC face off January 2nd at 7:30 on Bill Gay grounds at Everbank Stadium. Don't miss college football pageantry on display as we celebrate our 80th anniversary. Tickets and hospitality packages are on sale now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com. Get yours today.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. Clayton, I know you're the head diamond buyer at Underwoods, and you travel to the markets to buy diamonds. Why don't you just look at an emailed list and have them send you the diamond?
Frank, there are a couple of reasons we go straight to the source when we're selecting the diamonds we want to put the Underwood name on. First, as an expert diamond buyer, I have to see a diamond before I can really judge its beauty versus the price it's being offered at. Second, when we're at the source, we have huge selections to choose our diamonds from, so we don't have to compromise the Underwood quality standard. The result is we control what goes into our diamond stock instead of allowing a diamond dealer to send us what he wants us to have. The bottom line is we're able to offer our customers carefully selected, beautiful diamonds that we're proud to have carry the Underwood name.
Underwood, serving excellence since 1928 in San Marco, Avondale, and the shops of Ponte Vedra.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The Window World of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings on 1010XL.
2 left, 2 right, shotgun for Mac Jones. Mac drops the throw. Looking. Fires for the back of the end zone. That ball's going to be caught for the touchdown in the back of the end zone. Brian Thomas Jr. for the score.
Frank Frangie, Jaguars Radio. Brian Thomas Jr. had a 56-yard catch. I like the fact they got him involved. Had to get the ball in his hand somehow. Got him a little toss sweep play, and then obviously the touchdown. So the Jaguars, a lot of good things happened today, but obviously the 2 bad things was the hit on Trevor and the loss. We'll get as many of these phone calls in as we can. We got about 7 minutes or so left in the 5th quarter. Every week here on the 5th quarter, we do give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by the law offices of Farah and Farah. Let's do it right now, RJ, the Farah and Farah injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah present this injury update. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Obviously, this injury update, Leon, ends and starts with Trevor Lawrence. It was the biggest injury. Brutal hit. Al-Shaair, the linebacker for Houston, got ejected and right on. He needs to be ejected. He needs to be suspended. We'll see what happens with Trevor, but I think you and I, Coach, I think you speak for this as well, kind of echo what Fred Taylor said on the network post game. Trevor's going to want to come back and play, but at a certain point, you got to protect the player from himself. And with where they are in the season and the shoulder and now this hit and only 5 games to go and no realistic chance of the playoffs, 2 letters, man, IR. And IR then takes it out of Trevor's hands.
Yeah, that's the key. You got to take it out of his hands because, like you said, that hit alone is a minimum of 2 games. Minimum of 2 games. So he's going to want to come back, and he's going to want to do whatever he can because he's a good teammate. He wants to help this team win. But you got, like, I agree with Fred. You just put him on IR and then put him on ice and say, hey, you good. Because, I mean, it's that decision, I agree with Coach. That kind of decision has to be made at the top, the very, very top, the owner. Where he says, hey, look, I invested this money in this kid, and we're just going to sit him for the rest of the season.
Coach, I mean, if you're Doug Peterson, do you have to have a conversation with Shad Khan about what do we do with Trevor moving forward?
Absolutely. And the reason that I feel that way is because of Troy Aikman, because Troy Aikman's career was shortened, by the concussions. And he wouldn't make it the kind of money that Trevor's making.
Yeah.
But that's an organizational decision all the way.
Well, that'll be one of the big storylines, no question about it. Let's get as many of these phone calls in as we can. Less than 5 minutes to go. Let's go out to Fruit Cove, get Tim in here on the 5th quarter. Tim, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys? Am I audible?
Yeah, we got you, man. What's happening?
Hey, yeah, I'll be real quick. So I was caught off guard by the Walker Little extension, and because, the media has been saying Trent may be one of the GMs that gets the boot this offseason. But do you feel like this is an indication that he may stick around?
Tim, appreciate it. That's the big question. And again, I feel bad for Walker Little because if you see the reaction to his contract signing, fans on social media anyway were ticked about it. But it really had nothing to do with Walker Little. It's the fact that Trent Baalke is still making moves when the common thought is, or the common hope among many is, that he's going to be gone in a month. But Leon, what do you make of that? The Baalke angle to it?
Yeah, it seems a little suspicious, absolutely suspicious. But you just referenced to something that he did the same thing with another team and still got fired.
Yeah, a San Francisco buddy of mine said, I think it was Vance McDonald, a tight end. He gave a decent contract to in December of 2016, and he was fired January 1st of 2017. So giving a guy an extension doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be back the following year.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's just they made a decision that that he was a good enough player to extend, and it's a 3-year deal, but really, in all honesty, it's a 2-year deal.
Right,
they can get out of it, and
I think
so
it's a pretty decent deal for what Walker Little gives you.
That's what Leon said. He's going to be a starter probably, but he got backup basic money.
He did.
So that's a good deal because I'm telling you right now, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to get anybody in that's any better. And when they made a decision to get Cam Robinson out of here, they kind of made the decision that this guy was going to be a long-term player for him in a way. You know, so.
Well, my only concern with Walker Little was not with the signing because, I'm glad he got the money. It's just that same old narrative that we're good. Like from last year. We're good enough as an offensive line when we're not. We're not. We've got to make interior changes. Anton's okay. He's at a decent season. Walker's okay with this. So, I mean, I'm going to be very interested to see what the team does in the offseason in the draft when it comes to the interior guys because, you got a few grumpy old men interiorly that are not really performing that well. You need to get some youth in there.
Let's go to the south side, get Randy in here on the fifth quarter. Randy, go quick. What's on your mind?
Hey, guys, real quick. Thanks. And I kind of disagree with Leon's response of it's not watch TV because after this season I can sit back and watch it objectively and not with my heart in it. The biggest point I wanted to bring up was the fact that when Trevor got his hit, the linebacker had a brace on, and it was brace to helmet. That's probably the most dangerous thing I've seen because the guy had no fear about hurting his elbow. If without the brace you're worried about elbow to helmet, this guy's hitting it helmet to helmet, elbow to helmet with a brace on. That is just downright dangerous. Forget his intent, but the NFL needs to look at that. You either have to pad it, because guys wearing knee braces don't hit people in the head on a regular basis.
Randy, thank you for the phone call. And again, Al-Shaair, this is not the first time that this has happened. This guy is getting the dirty label, and you look at videos, there was a hit against Caleb Williams in Chicago, against Chicago in week 2 or whatever that was bad. Apparently last week, Tony Pollard was on the sidelines, Titans, Texans, and Al-Shaair came in and just absolutely obliterated him. So this is not the first time, and hopefully the NFL takes that into account. Because this guy doesn't need to play for a while. That was a ridiculous, ridiculous situation. All right. Sorry to the phone callers we didn't get to tonight. Going to get closing thoughts. It was a very jam-packed show. Again, we'll be taking calls all day tomorrow on 1010XL. Let's begin with Coach. 2-10, going to Nashville next Sunday to play the Titans. What's kind of your message after today?
Well, talent-wise, they're not a better team. So get ready and go up there and play ball. I mean, I don't know any other way you can do it.
Calvin Ridley revenge game on Sunday.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, that ought to get us fired up. Hey.
Leon, you're the most positive guy I know. I know you're probably floundering on that a little bit, but where are you at right now?
I agree with Coach. I mean, right now, both teams they're a coin flip. I mean, if you had to tell of a tape between two fighters, they're pretty much equally yoked. So, I mean, you have a chance to beat the Titans. Now, you had a chance last year. You win, you end the playoffs, and we fell short. So,
plus, we don't like those mayo eaters up there.
Yeah, we don't. Absolutely don't.
The 2-10 Jaguars, the 3-9 Titans. What a battle that will be in Nashville on Sunday. RJ Saunders was your producer. Head coach Dave Campo. I'll talk to you tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark.
You bet.
Leon Searcy will have you tomorrow, XL Prime Time, and I'll talk to you Wednesday on Hacker After Dark. This has been the Window World of Northeast Florida, 5th quarter. We've been presented by Von Rowan Law and Hurricane Grill and Wings. Jacksonville falls to Houston, 23-20. Jeff Prosser will be in this studio tomorrow morning, and we will kick off 16 hours of local programming, and I'll join you tomorrow night beginning at 8 o'clock for a Monday night edition of Hacker After Dark. For all of us here on the 5th quarter, have a terrific Sunday evening.